Hello artists! We are going to be learning today about one of my favorite paintings called Starry Night. Starry Night was painted by Vincent van Gogh, who was a Dutch post-impressionist painter. What that means is that he was more focused on showing the emotions he felt when he looked up at the night sky than he was at showing an actual place. The cypress tree in the center and the town that you see in this picture are all things that Vincent saw in real life, but he decided to make them have this more emotional and dreamlike feeling to them. One of the ways that we can achieve this look is by repeating lines in order to create movement. So I'm going to show you an easy way to draw your own version of Starry Night. So to start off, a little off to the center of your picture is the giant cypress tree, which almost looks like a tower when you look at it. So start at the bottom, off to the center, and make this sort of curved lines that have a flame-like appearance. And go almost to the top, but not quite. It should be bigger on the bottom than it is on the top. Perfect. And add a few little lines to help give it shape. Next, there is a town shown here. You should use a horizontal line to show where the town is. Make it pretty low to the bottom because you want to have a lot of space for that sky. Next, there is a mountain range that is going diagonal next to the town. So make an irregular zigzag that's going diagonal. Perfect. And remember, we're not trying to make this look exactly like it, we're just trying to copy it a little bit. So next, you want to add some details to your town. So this is where you would put some bushes and you would put some buildings. One of the buildings that's most notable in Starry Night is the church that you can see. So if you want to add that, I'm going to put that right there. Just using some rectangles and trapezoids to make this. All right, so now let's get started on the best part, which is the sky. So the way that Van Gogh was able to make such a beautiful sky is that he's using repeating lines in order to create movement. So you're going to see a lot of swirling lines in this sky. So to start off, let's make the big swirl in the middle that is so noticeable. Start by going down and then up. Remember, the cypress tree is in the foreground, so that needs to be behind it. Then you're going to go up and curve down. So that's the first part of the swirl. Next, go around in the center, go down, up, and make a second smaller swirl. And that's going to be the start of this part. Then you're going to go back and you're going to take some repeating shorter lines and follow the shapes you made. Perfect. Now we want to start to add the stars. So add a few circles throughout your picture, but leave this space empty for the moon. Now that you've made these circles, do the same thing where you take those curved lines and go around it. Make about 2 rows of curved lines. And then finally, you need to make a crescent moon here in the corner. And then do the same thing. Follow the shapes with these curved, repeating lines. Perfect. And see, it already looks like Starry Night. So now this is the point where you are going to outline, and then we're going to get started with the color. All right, so now that we have the drawing done, we can get started on the coloring. So for this, I'm going to be using crayons and I'm going to be using watercolor. If you don't have watercolor and you just have markers or you just have crayons, that's fine too. I would recommend starting with your lightest colors first. So you should start off with your yellows. And what you're going to do is you're going to use those repeating lines that we've been using with your yellow and your orange. So you want to just sort of follow the shape you have made and make short curved lines. You're not worrying about coloring it in all the way. And then you do the same thing here, but again, you're not trying to just color it in. You're actually going in these short marks following the shape. Don't go back and forth, go in one direction. Now you can go back with the orange and do it, but don't do it too heavily. Just a little bit of orange will go a long way. And you want to leave some of those spaces white because in his actual painting, he did have a lot of bit of white in those colorful swirls. So now you're going to go back with blue. It would be really helpful if you have more than one kind of blue to do this. And you're gonna, again, you're just going in these short motions and you're following all of these shapes. So do it very slowly and don't worry about filling in the whole paper right now. Just do it slowly and follow along. So see, I am following along with that shape I have created. And when you reach another shape, follow that shape now. Like that. And there, your sky is pretty much done. You can leave it like this, but I'm actually gonna go over it with a little bit of blue watercolor. If you used crayon to start, that wax will create a resist and it will make it so that the colors stay nice and bright. For the landscape on the bottom, I'm mostly just gonna use different kinds of blue and I'm gonna use brown and blue for this part right here. And there you go. I hope you guys had fun making this today.